I'm the terrible person in business. It's not I'm a horrible business person because my end goal is to let you fire me eventually.
Welcome to Spotlight Sioux Falls, where culture meets commerce and the people behind our favorite places get the mic.
We're your hosts, Melissa Goodwin and Steve Schmidt, and we're sitting down with the makers, doers, and dreamers shaping the soul of our city.
From storefronts to side hustles, tattoos to tech startups, we are telling the stories that make Sioux Falls shine.
Because behind every business is a human story, and those stories, they're what make our community feel like home. This is Spotlight Sioux Falls.
That's cool, but that's not what we're doing.
Oh.
Yeah?
Oh. Hey, it's William Sturgeon, the most tattooed personal trainer who's the biggest badass in Sioux Falls. By the way, I met him. He's a former trainer at Great Life, so like, there's a vibe here. William, how you doing, man?
Hey, man, how's it going?
Good. It's so cool to be in your space.
Yeah.
Number one, I'm glad at this age, I'm 47 years old, that I can still get up like that. That doesn't mean like that hasn't come with some challenge, but that's my first recognition of like, be happy that you can get off the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Spotlight Sioux Falls is here today to feature you
and
the work that you do in this space, but also in the community. You've been a trainer at Great Life. You've been a trainer for years. You've got a lot of credentials on your wall. I think today what we want to show everybody is, hey, you're probably in pain too if you're a human being, especially if you're getting a little bit older. How do we modify? How do we start to live with it instead of fight it?
Right.
Fighting it leads to more injury, I found. So I guess first step of everything is acceptance, right? So here we are. How do I get started?
Usually they don't see me because they're happy. When you're working with me, what we can do is actually work on finding what fits you, right?
Yeah, around the pain.
Exactly. You know, working around the pain and getting you in a position where, yes, we do strengthen certain muscles. We do mobilize specific joints. But more importantly, we're going to show you how to move. And I think that's where most people get wrong is that your pain's not caused because of muscles. I mean, that's part of the symptom. But most importantly, it's like, how are we using our body?
Yeah.
Because it's how we function and how we move determines on how well the quality of our life becomes, right?
Yeah.
And so for you, I've actually worked with a handful of people who've had that same pain. It's getting out of the truck, my hip hurts, or stepping out of the shower is another one for a lot of people.
It's starting to all
it all revolves, right? And so it's a matter of, hey, I start with the feet. I kind of look at your feet, see what's going on there. Obviously looking at knees, then hips, core, and then just looking at how the body's all interconnected and related. And then what we do from there is we structure a program based on what I find and what your needs are, what your goals are, and we put it together in a way that is A, pain-free, B, gets you the results you're looking for, but it's also self-driven, where I get your feedback. Hey, does this fit well? Sure. So the first thing that I'm going to do is, where are you dealing with pain?
So for me, and I think I'm going to try and relate to a lot of people, let's say I have a lot of pain here.
Sure.
And I have a lot of pain here, and I have new pain that's here, that extended down here, and I thought it was tennis elbow, but apparently there's some more stuff here that I got to look into. But for me, it's, it's painful. It's also hard. This is just painful.
Sure.
Other than that, hip on the right side, so I got a lot of hip stuff, but everything else feels really good. That's the good news.
Sure. So like with that shoulder, is there any motion that bothers it? Like if you were to go upward or if you were to go to the side, is there anything that causes it pain?
This does not cause pain.
Okay.
Lifting 4 pounds in a grocery bag causes immense pain. Shutting a door, so like when I go side to side.
Interesting.
I think it's like the right pec is
Yeah. So it sounds like when you're going through this motion, that's what causes the irritation or the pain, let's say, right?
If someone said, Steve, here's 5 pounds on a thing, push it in, I would tremble on the way in.
Sure.
I could do it with 50 pounds over here. So there's a little bit of recognized lack of something.
Right. And so do you have any specific injuries to that shoulder, the pec, or the neck?
So botched dunk in men's rec basketball. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Coming to haunt me. Stop therapy halfway through.
Yeah. All right. So, based on that, if we don't have any limitations going upward, then it's just that forward motion that's causing some of the pain. Yeah. So the first thing I look at, is it okay if I touch you?
Please. Go ahead.
Sure. So first area I'm going to look at is the pec, see what's going on there. And then also there's a muscle that we talked about earlier that goes underneath the chest called your serratus anterior. Yep. That's fancy words for a muscle that pulls your shoulder blade over and across.
Explain that to me. So over and across this muscle.
So there's a muscle that's going to sit sit underneath your chest,
Yeah.
right through here, and it's going to run through the side.
That's
here.
where my pain is that I told you about.
Yeah, so this muscle here is called your serratus anterior.
Oh.
What that means is it keeps this shoulder blade down and helps you pull it forward.
Yep.
So your shoulder blade rounds around your rib cage, pulling from the side here. And so if we're dealing with pain from here to here, what's limiting it could be that it's the whole shoulder blade complex itself. So if we're going to bring that arm down, and just let it hang at your side here.
Okay.
And so if I were to give you a weight, and if you were to press it forward, that's going to cause that irritation.
That's right. Yeah.
Right? Okay, so I'm just going to try a thing from one of my certifications called a reset. So I'm going to go through the sternum here and just kind of give it a little
That's
bit of
really
a
good. Yeah.
Yeah, this is fun getting the
Are you
top.
loosening up fascia?
What I'm actually doing is I'm kind of shocking the nervous system a little bit here. I'm trying to get it to wake up where there's certain muscles that align together, that work together. And so what we're going to do is we're going to see what happens when we rub these specific areas.
Are you getting blood flow going?
Initially, it's kind of a nervous system shock. So there's fascial lines that connect all through the body that work together. So if you were to try that motion again, how would that feel?
I could feel this activate a little
Yeah,
bit. Where
yeah.
before it was like the flabby shake.
Sure.
I just feel a little bit of strength there.
Yeah, and so the other thing I'm noticing too is that you have what's called scapular winging. So if we were to turn around,
Yep.
your shoulder blade protrudes out forward. And so what that means is if I can grab up here, you have muscles down here. This is called your lower trap and that serratus anterior that's not active right now. So let's do some exercises to help get that active again. So first thing that we're going to do is we're going to go onto our hands and knees. This is called the quadruped position. And so all we're going to do right now is we're going to push our shoulder blades up and around through our upper back, kind of like in a cat-cow position, feeling this push, and then slowly push downward here. Feel your shoulder blades reach back together. Good. As you go through that, I want you to exhale and round through that upper back, but feel your shoulder blades round forward. There we go.
Oh, I can crack it.
Yeah, there we go. Raise up. Feel those shoulder blades pinch back lightly. Let's do 2 more. Breathe out. Feel that round, feel that round, feel that round. Good. And I can tell right through here we're a little bit more sensitive. So as you're going through that, good. Last one here. Breathe it out. So first thing that we're going to begin with after we've kind of worked those muscles up. As you get yourself set, what we're going to be focusing on is just moving your arm out to the side. But the number one thing I notice with people who have pain, they don't look at the shoulder blade ever. And that's honestly what's happening right now. Based on what I saw with you, your shoulder blade is protruding outward.
Yep.
So that dumps your shoulder forward. From there, you start pinching on your bicep groove right here.
Yeah.
And so that's why we're dealing with some bicep pain, some pec pain. So when you go through this position here, as you raise your arm out to the side, don't just move your arm, but feel your shoulder blade pull back and then control down. So it's all about that shoulder blade. Move slow and controlled. Yep, thumb is out to the side. Pull back.
Engage that shoulder blade.
Yeah, just feel for the shoulder blade. And now as you're going through that, move a little bit slower and round through your upper back right here. Just a little bit more. Yes, there you go. Let's do 2 more and then we'll switch to the other side.
That changed everything.
There you go. Last one.
When I put this up, everything changed.
There you go. And switch. So now as you go through this other side, really emphasize the hand pushing into the floor to keep you stable.
Yeah.
But as you reach back, it's all about the shoulder blade pulling you back. So from that position, thumb goes up and slowly reach back.
Oh
Good.
boy. Oh.
So first thing I notice is, just like most people, we have a tendency of being forceful with movement. You know when you have like little to no peanut butter left on the jar and you're kind of scraping it? Go through that. I want you to go through a movement where you're going through it. It's strenuous, but not overbearing. Because once you start getting into the point where we're grunting and we're making faces, your body has a natural tendency of kicking in what's called a Golgi tendon. So the Golgi tendon is known as the body's governor. You know how in your car you can only go so fast before it tops out? Same thing. As soon as you start wincing, as soon as you start anticipating pain, your body shuts it off. How do we override that? Through your breath.
How do you train people to start to unlock this amazing pharmacy we have in our body, in our brains, our hearts, everything? Because I know you're a big believer in that, and that starts with the breath, I think, right?
Yeah, I could spend an entire week talking about breathing. Let's begin by laying on your back.
Okay.
So oftentimes when it comes to breath work, and again, this actually could be leading to your shoulder dysfunction. So you take up to like 20 to 25,000 breaths a day. Okay, just let your side here. Perfect. So you take a lot of breaths in, but most times, if you're just like a regular person, like we all are, you're probably breathing incorrectly. And so when you're breathing mainly through your chest and your neck, again, 20 to 25,000 breaths a day, that's a lot. And so if you're breathing through your neck and your chest, you're going to compress forward. When my shoulders roll forward, my shoulder blade raises up, this makes this motion hard. So if we're doing any type of pushing or overhead motion, I'm limited because of how far forward I am, how concave my upper back is. How does that relate to breathing and shoulder pain? Well, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to have you take in a big breath. Just watch for the body. So when you're breathing in, I want to see the belly raise. I want to see the rib cage expand. But towards the very last bit of his breath, he should feel his back engaged just a little bit. Those are called your erectors. What this is doing is it's actually strengthening his core appropriately. And Steve has had a lot of stress in his life. I can tell by how he's breathing. Take it slower, dude. Take it slower. Slow and controlled. And so let's say he's having a little bit more issues with we're not getting the right muscles to fire. One of my favorite tools is a sandbag. And the sandbag provides feedback. So I'm going to lay this right onto his belly. He's going to take in 3 more deep breaths. He's going to feel that there, slow and controlled out. The other thing I'm looking for is how much tension's in his neck. Not much, which is good. I'm seeing the rib cage going into expansion, which is great. Belly's raised up.
Oh, these my muscles of
that
sucks.
Yeah, it's different, you know? And so as he's breathing, we're able to activate more of his core muscles. We're also able to down-regulate his nervous system, fancy words for, hey, I'm really stressed out, but if I can breathe through my stomach and my ribs and through my upper back, I can actually regulate myself, meaning I calm down. And we want that level of calmness because if I'm at a high level of stress, my body's going to be limited by what it can do.
And I think for a lot of people, like we're just trying to see that thing, like the connection of that makes a lot more sense for me personally. And everybody's got a personal journey than anything I've talked to or worked through thus far. Now, how long when someone sees you, do I need to call it see you? And my guess is forever, right?
I'm the terrible person with business. Just know I'm a horrible business person because my end goal is to let you fire me eventually because I've taught you enough. But you decide to stay because you like hanging out with me and the people we work with. It's about community here. But when people work with me, my goal is to help you A, get out of pain, B, get to where you want to go, and then C, enjoy what we're doing. When I started MB Wellness, it was the fact that I wanted to bridge the gap between the mental side and the physical side of fitness where you can improve both the quality of your physical and your mental health. Well, how do we do that? Well, we do it by doing what we do here. And it's more so shifting your mind from cosmetics and vanities to vitality and confidence within your own capabilities of what life can bring to you. What's different between what I do here and what physical therapists do is I'm not a physical therapist. Let's start there. Like, I'm not a physical therapist. I don't diagnose pain. I can work around pain, but that's also why I have my license in massage therapy is because it helps me have a deeper understanding of what's going on within the muscles and the tissues, the joints, but also a lot of my background in education is in functional movement, corrective exercise, where I work around certain areas that are limiting you pain or causing you pain. And so when physical therapists work with you, they have a diagnosis, they're looking at specific protocols to help you around the pain you're in. Where me, I'm looking at the dysfunction, I'm looking at the correctives, and I'm finding out what other solutions we can find to help you strengthen your body, but more importantly, move better. Comes to where I land on a spectrum of regular trainers to physical therapists to functional movement. I land right in the middle, right? Because I'm not a physical therapist, like I said, but I work really well with a lot of physical therapists. I also am somewhat of a regular trainer in the way that we will focus on strength. I do want to get you stronger. I will challenge you. You will sweat. You will at times get sore, but that's not the end goal. So unlike most gyms in my setting, we don't see machines or barbells because I don't think that I would be doing my job as well as I could if I put you on a machine and said, do this or do this. I'd rather you understand that with working with me, I'm going to teach you how your body moves. And so by doing that, functional movement, functional fitness, we use tools that are functional, and they're kind of obtuse, they're weird. And so one of the tools that we use here is a steel mace, or as one of my members calls it, the Harry Potter stick. You can use this for a lot of different exercises. You can do some pressing, you can also do some rowing, you can also squat with this. I mean, the list goes on and on and on, but more importantly, what this is helping with is instability, because the weight's at the end of the lever here, so the harder this is by the lower I go. Easier it is, higher up. Now, this is similar to the next tool, which is known as a kettlebell, which a lot of people are familiar with. One of my favorite tools, because again, we can use this for so many things. For Steve's shoulder, we can also use it for a bottom-up press, which is super helpful with improving his shoulder stability, but also his rotator cuff. Also for his hip, we can do kettlebell swings. And from there, we can do a lot more other exercises. The benefits of doing kettlebell training is a whole hour-long talk that we'll do it at another time. My third favorite tool is a sandbag. These come in a variety of different shapes, sizes, and weights. One of the things that make these so functional is that they're dynamic, they're varied, and also the resistance kind of moves with you. So with this sandbag, if I were to do a reverse lunge, that bag not only moves with me, but the sand does too. So the sand inside the bag moves around, gets into deeper core muscles and stabilization muscles that you don't typically get with a dumbbell or a barbell. So the sandbags, the kettlebells, the steel maces are some of my favorite pieces of equipment. And lastly, another staple is a suspension trainer. So the suspension trainer not only acts as a tool for tension, but it helps you understand your body better. Why? Well, because if I can just go through this motion without any effort, you're not going to get the results you're looking for. However, if I'm intentional, which is what we do here, is you can focus on creating an amount of tension through the straps by the amount of force I'm generating through the pull I'm creating. So that's one of the exercises that a lot of us people do. Another one that we do that a lot of my members here really enjoy is called a step back rotation, where we have our arms up with the leg that's forward. I drop the arm down, that way I get a lot of mobility and a lot of hip at the same time. And so this is another way of accommodating for a lot of different people, but most importantly, you want to have tools that you can see yourself using and also have in your own house. Again, this is why I'm different. It's a matter of me showing you how we use tools to help you improve your body, but more importantly, if we were to ever quit training, heaven forbid, but if it does happen, what you'll be able to do is take the tools that I've taught you here and use them, because strength is a skill. It's something that anybody can learn at any age. And I will always argue that, because we have neuroplasticity and a whole lot of cool science in our brain that tells us our bodies are capable of doing whatever we want within reason. I find that middle is where we can meet, where we have movement, we have strength, we have restoration, but we also have progression along the way. So it's the bridge between rehab and performance is where MB Wellness meets everybody and where they're at.
I think when you come in here, you can't help but feel like the personal attention.
Yeah.
And so someone's out there, they're listening to this. How do they get a hold of you, and when can they start?
They can start right away. Immediately, like right now, if you're watching this, like just fucking do it, like right now. Yeah. But just like hit me up on Facebook, Instagram, my website, mymbwellness.com. Just contact me, reach out, email, messaging. My phone number is on my website. You can go on Google. Like, there's so many ways to get a hold of me, but most importantly, like, don't be ashamed. I think that's what a lot of people like have hesitation to see a trainer is I'm ashamed of where I'm at, or I have guilt about what I'm doing. Like, I personally don't give a shit. I don't. Like, I care about you as a person, but what you're doing, I don't care, right? It's about getting better. And if we can have an environment where you feel comfortable enough to come in and say, hey, dude, I'm struggling with this, or this sucks, how the hell am I supposed to help you, right? Like, I personally have done a lot of things in my life that have sucked and didn't help me, and I've done a lot of great things that have. Let's just focus on the things that do suck, to like embrace it and just like, okay, here's where we're at. From there, let's just build you up, because it's a matter of where you're at and what we can do from there, and structure a plan that works for you, because I meet you where you're at versus trying to fit into a mold that you're not comfortable in or that you're not ready for.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
There's one thing I want to do though at the end of this, and this, it's just, I want to hit the sauna because I'm a big fan. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. Now let's go.
All right, well, as you can see, it's so hot here, the phone just quit.
Yeah, it did.
And my hair's gotten even worse, which is great because a little humidity goes a long ways. Okay, 2 more questions for you.
Yeah, my
what are
hair's
the
a
3
mess, too.
benefits too? Your hair is such a mess.
It's horrible.
What are the 3 benefits that you can expect if they sauna regularly?
Regularly, you're going to feel better about your stress tolerance, your skin's going to be better, and overall health is going to be improved.
If I've never been to a sauna before, what do I do and how do I know what to do the first time and for how long?
Dude, just go in there and sit for like 5-10 minutes and like build up from there. Whatever you can tolerate at the time.
Is it hot in here?
Just a little bit.
It's fucking hot.
This episode of Spotlight Sioux Falls is sponsored by Magnetic. We help businesses grow through content that stands out and software that scales your conversations. Not sure how to build your pipeline? You can find us at magnetic.services. Magnetic.services. Your pipeline will thank you.
Thanks for listening to Spotlight Sioux Falls.
These are the stories and the businesses that shape our city. If you heard something today that made you smile, made you think, or maybe reminded you of someone you know in your neighborhood, please share it.
That's how we support local. That's how we grow. And if you know a business owner we should feature, or you want to tell your story, reach out.
Until next time, we're Steve and Melissa, and this is Spotlight Sioux Falls, where local stories get the stage they deserve.
Yeah, I could spend an entire week talking about breathing. I'm not even bullshit.
Let's spend a week talking about breathing. Here we go.
I'm going to lose a lot of people and then stop watching at this point. So, breath is magical. That's all you need to know. I'll give you all the books and coursework I've done on it.